This is when we need to wake up, as we have had to all wake up in the light of what was announced during Liberation Day, when tariffs it becomes a platform for industrial corridors and a foundation for prosperity. Now, this event is taking place at a time of heightened volatility in the global energy markets. Africa is already experiencing the impact of escalating conflict in the Middle East, with strains on supply chains and higher energy prices. Now we are going to be a victim of conflicts that are taking place far away from where we are. As we have seen with the Russia-Ukraine conflict and during the COVID-19 pandemic, shifting geopolitical sands underscore the vulnerabilities for regional and continental energy security and diversification. This is when we need to wake up, as we have had to all wake up in the light of what was announced during Liberation Day, when tariffs were applied across many countries in the world. What did that do? It woke us all up, and we realized that we now need to diversify our market space. And that is what South Africa is doing right now. We are broadening our market space as a result of the tariff onslaught that has been unleashed on us. So similarly, what is now unfolding in the Middle East when it comes to energy sources, we now need to wake up and say, Africa, wake up and be more reliant. As such, this Indaba is timely and strategic. It is an opportunity to position our continent in a rapidly changing geopolitical context. Africa has what it needs to succeed. It has the resources, it has people, it has growing institutions, and the institutional capacity of our continent keeps on growing, expanding, and the cooperation levels are also broadening. The remaining task is to match this potential with sustained implementation, to translate plans into projects, and to turn projects into reliable power that supports industry, jobs, and that brings dignity to the people of our continent. The present moment, therefore, calls for unity of effort. It calls for partnerships that recognize that Africa's growth is not a risk to be managed, but an opportunity to be realized. It calls for a shift from potential to delivery, from promise to construction. I am confident that this Indaba will help strengthen cooperation, but it will also serve to accelerate Africa's promise, the promise of a future where in the end, the current 1.4 billion people who live on this continent will have energy on an accelerated basis. As my sister was saying, 90 million every year or whatever. But I think Initiative 300 is precisely what will help a great deal by 2030, and an additional 300 by then, although the population will be growing. And we're looking at a population that will go to 2.4 billion in no time. And that is the challenge, and that is the opportunity that we have. You may remember that story of a US company that sent two of their salespeople to a country on the African continent. They were companies that made shoes. They sent their first representative, arrived on one of the countries on our continent, and saw the people walking barefoot, went back to the United States and said, the issues. They sent another one, and he came back and said, boss, what an opportunity. They don't have shoes, but now that company started growing by providing shoes. Now, on our continent, we don't have electricity for 600 people. That is the opportunity, not to be boastful. I end by saying, when the South African Democratic Government took over 30 years ago, 1994, only 54 or so percent of South Africans had electricity. Today, it has risen to 93%. It saw that as a key task to make sure that those that did not have electricity must have electricity. So what did it see? It saw an opportunity, a great opportunity to improve the lives of South Africans. What has that yielded? It has yielded people, and the growth of our economy that is now standing in the years that are coming is going to be generated because of the commitment that was implemented some 30 years ago. So I think it is an absolute life-giving.
Yes, here we are. Greetings and welcome everyone, family, brothers and sisters. This is the time when Africa, we need to wake up. Those are not my words. Those are words of President Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, the one who was speaking. You heard a lot from President Ramaphosa calling Africa to wake up and how Africa will be suffering due to the rise of the cost of energy, how Africa will be impacted by the escalation in the conflict in the Middle East. But the question we need to ask ourselves, is it true that we, Africa, we don't have resources? For instance, we are saying we are going to be affected with the supply of energy, oil. Of course, we're talking about oil. Is it true that Africa, we don't have oil? We have oil in Nigeria. Who owns the oil in Nigeria? We have oil in Angola. Who owns our oil in Angola? We have oil in Namibia. We have oil in Mozambique. We have oil in Uganda, Ohima. We have oil in Libya, in Niger. South Sudan has oil. And many other countries have discovered oil. Why African countries still depending on Arab countries? Why Africa still depending on others? You know, sometimes when I hear these stories of we are going to suffer this and that, it looks like we Africans, we are not prepared and we don't know how the world is running. And our leaders in every situation, every difficult situation, they're coming and inspiring, talking about the same thing. Let us unite. Let us wake up. When will Africa wake up? When will we Africans say, now we are waking up? We saw during COVID. We saw during conflict in Ukraine, and today in Middle East. We are still asking each other, wake up, wake up. When will African leaders wake up? There's a need for African leaders to take decisive decisions. You know, when Traoré spoken about Black Winter, African leaders thought it is maybe inspirational speeches, just maybe speeches for young leaders. Brothers and sisters, something difficult is coming, and have warned Africa. Right now we see things happening in Middle East, but after Middle East, who will be the next? See what America has done in Southern America, in the Caribbean there. America has captured Maduro. Already America attacked in American side. America came to Nigeria, attacked Nigeria. You remember that? Last year in December, America attacked Nigeria. America didn't stop there. America is in Middle East. Who, of course, even before Middle East, America demanded Greenland. So he went to Europe. Then right now, America is in Middle East. After that, of course, he will try to go to Asia countries. We don't know. But the only place where America is looking that it can come and do something without consequence is in Africa. So we, Africa, are we ready? Or we'll continue to say, you know, we need to come together, we need to unite. So when we'll say today we are united? When we'll say today we are speaking with one voice? If you heard many of our speeches from our leaders are talking the same thing since the formation of African Union or OAU at that time, the Organization of African Unity at that time, OAU, till today we are speaking the same stories. No actions. We are not implementing. So family, I'm sharing this video for you to understand that our leaders understand very well how Africa is going to be affected, but when it's come to take actions, our leaders are not speaking one voice. They're here to fulfill their dreams, not to fulfill the dreams of their people. So family, if you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.